All right, so last week's video, I talked about my high carb day and what that looks like during this 12-week cut that I am doing. You guys asked for it, so in today's video, I will actually be going over what my low carb / rest days meal plan looks like during the 12-week cut, and why I'm only eating 3 meals instead of 5 meals like most people do during their cut. All right, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another week of the 12-week cut. If you're new to the channel, my name is Bryce Dettorre. I'm a husband, a father, and a special education teacher who is currently documenting my 12-week fat loss journey in order to lose fat loss, obviously, maintain muscle, and perform my best for all the other roles that matter in my life. So last week I talked about my high carb days and what days of the week they were, what my macros looked like, what my calories looked like, what that day looked like. In this week's video, I'm gonna be going over what my low carb / rest days look like. So currently right now, I have 2 rest days, which also are my low carb days. And there's obviously a reason for why I did that I will go over in this video. So one thing that's different in this fat loss program as opposed to the ones I've done in the past, which I mentioned in last week's video, is I am only eating 3 meals a day. So anytime in the past that I was trying to lose weight, I would do the traditional bodybuilder meal plan where it was 5 meals a day. Where I'm at right now with a 7-week-old or 8-week-old baby and a 5-year-old daughter, my responsibilities as a husband, as a father, as a teacher, 5 meals a day is just very inconvenient for me. So I'm currently only eating 3 meals a day. And by only doing 3 meals a day, it's not like I'm constantly eating every 2 to 3 hours and I have to make sure that I hit that window. When life's crazy, because you are a husband and a father, you're not always gonna hit those meals. So what I realized is if I try the 5 meals a day, I'm setting myself up for failure. As opposed to if I eat in the morning with my family, when we're all sitting down for breakfast anyway, I eat my breakfast, and then hours later, 4 hours, 5 hours later, maybe if something comes up, I just have to eat 1 more meal, and then I basically gotta eat before I go to bed. We're gonna sit down as a family and eat as a family. But that middle meal sometimes is tough, especially if I'm trying to fit in 3 meals in the middle of the day because I'm on a 5-meal plan. 5-meal meal plan, if that makes sense. So what does 3 meals do instead of 5 meals for me? 1, they're large meals. They're large, satisfying meals right now. So I'm only on a 2,000 calorie diet, which if you guys wanna see how I broke down my actual calories for this weight loss and cheat day, how I fit that in, comment below and I'll do that for my next video. As opposed to having 2,000 calories, say I divide it evenly between 5 meals, well, that's 5 meals of 400 calories. Or I can do 2,000 divided by 3, and now I'm at 700 to 800 calories per meal. I'd much rather do that, especially I can fit in a lot of protein, less time thinking about food. I don't have to plan 5 meals, I have to plan 3. And then less meal prep throughout the day, because again, I'm not prepping 5 meals a day, I'm prepping 3 meals a day. And most importantly, like I said, just more flexibility with my schedule. And I'm gonna be honest with you, meal timing doesn't make or break your fat loss. I know some people will be like, you gotta eat every 2 hours. And again, I'm not stepping on stage. I'm not doing this for a living. I'm doing this so that I could improve as a husband and a father and as a special education teacher. The roles that matter in life, the roles that I am here for, I just want to be the best at it. So when it comes to fat loss, what time you eat and how frequent you eat doesn't really matter. What does matter is consistency. Calories, you definitely got to know your calories. If you're eating too much calories, it don't matter if you're eating 5 meals or 3 meals. You're not going to lose weight. Your protein matters. You got to make sure that you're hitting enough protein so that you don't lose muscle, and then also that you stay full. So simply put, for this stage of my life, and like I said, this is week 3 recap of this 12-week cut, the 3 meals per day has been perfect for my situation. And I've been actually enjoying it a lot more than 5 meals a day. Now, one thing about low carb, it doesn't mean no carbs. I think a lot of people get that confused. So if you watched last week's video, I was consuming about 150 carbs a day on my high carb days and obviously my training days. On my low carb days, just to keep it very simple, I cut it in half. So I'm shooting anywhere from 70 to 75 carbs on my rest day. Protein and fat stay about the same. And I know that's gonna put me in a calorie deficit, but there's a reason for that, which I will talk about if I do the cheat day video. So I still eat carbs on my low carb day. Like I said, I just eat fewer on my rest days. And the reason why is I'm not doing intense training. The only thing I'm doing on my rest days is obviously resting. I'll do some foam rolling, I'll do some stretching, and then I'm still shooting to get about 15,000 steps per day on my rest days, which on my rest days, that's a little bit difficult because obviously there's no running involved, just a lot of stepping. So I basically broke it down to high intensity training days, high carbs. Low intensity, no training days, low carbs. It's really just simple nutrition principles, nothing crazy. All right, so let's get into the actual meal. So for meal number one, which is my breakfast, very simple breakfast. It is 8 ounces of lean ground beef, 93.7, 20 grams of shredded cheese, so I got a little bit of fat in there, and then 1 scoop of whey protein with a cup of almond milk. That's it. Not the most exciting. It's literally just protein, fat, very high protein. There's 77 grams of protein in my breakfast alone. There's only 25 grams of fat, and then there's 7 carbs. So very low carb. And again, I've noticed that if I eat this meal at about 9:30, I'm typically not hungry until about 1:30 or 2, especially if I'm getting my steps in and staying hydrated, which right now I'm drinking about 4 liters of water every single day. So one thing you'll notice about the meals throughout the day is, like I said, the protein is gonna be very high per meal, especially since it's not dispersed between 5, like I keep saying. It's 3 meals, very high protein. There's a reason for that. It obviously helps preserve muscle, especially when you're dieting. It improves recovery, and then honestly, the most important, it keeps me full, or at least feeling full for longer than as opposed to having a bunch of carbs, which I'll get hungry like 2 hours after that. What I've noticed is on a high protein, I guess moderate fat, low carb, I don't really get hungry. I'll feel hungry, but it's like it's an instinct, especially from going from someone who's eaten 5 meals a day, that it's like my body knows that every 2.5 hours or 3 hours I should be eating. With this new meal plan, right at about that 3-hour mark, I'm retraining my body to like, hey, chill. You don't need food. You want food, right? Because you're obviously in a calorie deficit, but you don't need it. You can withstand going about 4 hours, 5 hours if you have to. You're not gonna die. All right, so meal number 2 is lunchtime. And I usually eat this, like I said, around 1:30, maybe 2 if something comes up. But again, that gives me 9:30 to 1:30, it gives me 4 hours. I'm on summer break right now, so my schedule's pretty open, but obviously having an 8-week-old and then obviously my daughter and everything, we still have to divide and conquer. Right now we're in man coverage since it's 2-on-2. There's no way we could get a third because I'm not gonna do zone. It'd be way too difficult. Shout out to families who have 3 kids. And for meal number 2, my lunch, it's not pretty, it's not Instagram pretty, but it works. And actually it's very tasty. I really like this meal, especially on my low carb days, because I think it tastes better than my high carb days. And the reason why is for lunch, I will have 200 grams of yogurt, which is what I had on my high carb day, but today I get half a scoop or half a serving of peanut butter. I get 35 grams of the chewy granola, and then I do 1 scoop of protein, and I found this cereal peanut butter protein that is absolutely delicious with the peanut butter. So I'll mix this up, I'll put in some almond milk, just so I have the consistency, like I said, of like a pudding, and it's absolutely delicious. The only thing that stinks about this meal is I can't have more of it. But again, very high protein, 47 grams of protein and only 18 grams of fat. And then this one has some carbs in it just because I like the granola. And it's, again, I'm shooting for half the carbs. I'm not taking out carbs completely. I'm shooting for half the carbs on my low carb days. And this one's very simple. What I like about this meal is you can prep it the night before, you could prep it the morning of and take it to work, an afternoon snack. It's not gonna get bad. You stick it in the refrigerator. You don't have to microwave it, which is key. That's why I usually eat this when I'm at work, because I literally just pull it out of my fridge. If I'm at a meeting, I'm eating it. It just looks like, people usually think I'm eating either cake frosting or just some type of crazy pudding, but it's delicious. And now we are up to my 3rd meal, which is dinner. Usually takes place about 5:30, 6 sometimes, depending on if I'm hungry or not. This is my biggest meal of the day, and the reason why is I wanna stay full, because what I know about myself is 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock is when I get usually the hungriest, just from all my years of eating late night snacks and after football games, going and getting food. Like, my body's trained to that when the sun goes down, find a fridge, find some food, eat. I'm trying to retrain it that it's like, no, when the sun comes down, it's time to give your body a rest, your stomach a rest, and just chill. So for dinner, this meal is exact same as what it was on the high carb day. It is my Chipotle breakfast bowl. Absolutely delicious. So it's 8 ounces of Chipotle chicken, which you get at Costco. You guys got to get this. Easiest way to meal prep. You literally, I have a deep freezer that I stick it in. If not, I pull it out, microwave it, 8 ounces, good to go. 8 ounces of Chipotle chicken. I'll do 20 grams of shredded cheese. I'll do 2 whole eggs, and then I will do 160 grams of egg whites. And that's it. That is my final meal. Like I said, I'll put a little bit of ketchup, hot sauce on this. I'll always have it with a Coke Zero just because that's like another treat. And then a trick that I've been doing is as soon as I finish the Coke Zero, I drink a bunch of water and then I start chewing gum. I don't know what it is, but it kind of lets me know that you're done eating actual real food for the day. Go brush my teeth and that's it. No more food. And then at some point during the day, I'll have some electrolytes. So I'll have creatine, my electrolytes, and then I will actually even do a carb powder just because it has some electrolytes in it. And then that's it. And I do that carb powder again just to kind of I put it in my meal plan. So on days that if I do a low, now for instance, if on some rest days I'm feeling like, hey, you know what? I want to go for an easy run, or I want to do an arm day or something like that. Something that's not as like taxing as back or leg day. I will do 1 scoop of carb powder. I'll do some electrolytes. I'll do a creatine as my pre-workout, and I'll go get a lift on. If I'm not feeling it, if I'm like, I'm gonna actually take advantage of my rest day and not do it all, then all I do is those carbs that I would have had in the carb powder, I have those in other meals, and it might be rice, it might be more of the granola in my yogurt, or it might just be rice for my actual bowl at the end of the day. I have an option. So I kind of keep the flexibility of like, hey, do I feel like doing arms today? Cool, I'll have the carb powder. Actually, I don't feel like doing anything today. No carb powder, I wanna actually have some food. Just how I mix it up a little bit. As for the electrolytes and the creatine, I'll still have those even on my rest day. So I'll put the macros up for the actual day, but you will see it's very comparable to my high carb day. The only difference is the carbs are cut in half. And I hope that's the biggest takeaway that you can get from both of these videos is it's nothing special. There's nothing special about the meal plan. The meal plan works for me. It's very easy. It's easy to be consistent. It's not overcomplicated, it's not fancy. And I think people have this misconception that they want the perfect meal plan, the perfect supplement, the perfect macro split. But honestly, guys, at the end of the day, most people would see incredible results if they simply ate enough protein, controlled portions. That's a huge game changer. If you just don't make a second plate and don't eat until you're full, eat until what you need. That's the difference. You don't need a lot. If you stayed consistent with whatever it was, get your steps in. Like I said last week, guys, the steps I think are the biggest key right now. I'm averaging about 15,000 or more steps per day during this 12-week cut. Trained regularly, whether that's 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, doesn't really matter. Find something that you can do consistently and stick to it when it comes to your training. And then you got to give the process time. Like I said last week, I'm saying it's a 12-week cut. At the end of the day, I don't think it will be 12. I think it might be a little bit longer. It might be 16, it might be 20, depending on where I get to where I'm content with. I want to get to a physique that I am comfortable. Right now, I'm not happy with my physique. I'll be honest with you guys. All right, so before we do the recap, that's exactly what I eat in a low carb day. 3 meals, high protein, lower carbs than my training days, simple foods, nothing fancy. And like I said, I'm trying to build a meal plan that fits my life right now currently. 3 meals a day works perfectly. Now the recap, so highlights of week 3. I'm now sitting at 216.6. which I dropped, I wanna say almost 3 pounds from last week. I'm at 17.2% body fat, which I dropped 0.6% from last week, so I'm super happy. So realistically, based on that math, if I keep losing my fat the way I want to and maintaining muscle, 200 pounds should be right around that 10% body fat, which I would like to get there. So that is the goal. If you guys like this video and you wanna see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Everybody that has been subscribing to the channel, I appreciate it. For all of you who are new, if you're excited about the 12-week cut, comment below that you would like to see. I think my next video, I'm gonna do a cheat day because I get a lot of questions about how am I able to eat what I eat on Sunday and still lose body fat. So I think that's a very valuable video. So if you wanna see that, comment cheat day below. And then you guys already know the motto, stay happy, stay healthy, and above all, don't be average. I will catch you guys next week.